Yeah, inflation stopped growing, but it's still 33% more expensive to buy protein than it was pre-pandemic. Gasoline, 25% more expensive than it was pre-pandemic. Housing is a huge problem because rates have gone up. So if you have a mortgage at 3.5%, you're never going to sell your affordable house because your new mortgage is 7 or 8%. And so rents are really problematic, particularly in metropolitan areas. This is where individuals deal with the economy, and that's what we're talking about.
How are you doing? How are you coping with the global economic crisis? Would you describe yourself as someone who is living or just surviving?
I just don't want to do this anymore. It's so cold in here, as you can see. I'm wrapped up in a duvet. My son's got like 3 different layers on. Just try and stay warm because it's so cold in here.
Hi guys, I'm really stressed today. I just went to the grocery store, bought 10 items, and it was $80 freaking already. I literally have $10 left in my account. The fuck? So, little backstory. I got laid off from my job a month ago. And I've been applying for jobs months before I got laid off. Sent out hundreds of resumes already. Applied to hundreds of jobs on the internet, remote, and on-site. Tailored my resume to every position that I applied using ChatGPT. Went to only a few interviews. And still nothing. Like, what the fuck is going on with America right now? Like, it's so freaking hard to live here. Like, I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna keep applying for jobs. I'm gonna keep showing up. But man, my bills are not going to wait.
I'm sorry, we need how much to live comfortably in the United States? The median family income in the United States is a little under $70,000. $70,000. No state in the United States enables a family to live comfortably with $70,000 in income. So yeah, something monumental needs to be done to correct this. Because as wages continue to stay stagnant and inflation to keep going up, we're all going to be priced out. It's not a question of working harder, it's not a question of working overtime. This is now a question of structural, systematic change. This map shows that the cheapest place to live for a family is in Mississippi, $178,000. And billionaires and corporations think that they have it rough.
Has the American dream transformed into daily struggle for survival? That's basically what it is. The stagnant wages, increase in rent, hyperinflation, expensive groceries, people are even struggling to feed, people can't find accommodation, and when they do, they can't even pay because it's that expensive. People are left asking themselves, are they living or just surviving?
What's the difference between existing and living life? I'll go first. Existing is living paycheck to paycheck, having just about enough money to pay your bills and then do some fun stuff. Existing is spending the majority of time where you don't want to spend your time and not spending it doing the things you love with the people you love. Existing is asking permission to go on holiday when you're an adult. Living life is having the freedom to do what you want, when you want, how you want. Living life is knowing that there are no boundaries and the only boundaries are the ones that you hold on yourself.
Hello fam, how you all doing? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Today's video is on this big question. Are you living or just surviving in America? Surviving is the daily reality check that a good number of us are facing. America, that was once a land of endless opportunity, is now a place where a good number of people are just hanging on by a thread. If your intention is to survive and get by, then you need to hang on to the daily grind just to stay afloat. The daily grind is a survival mode, not a path to success. How long can you do that for? Not sustainable. It's the rat race, the hamster wheel, unending race. The harder you work, the more difficult it becomes because wages are stagnant, rents are increasing, the price of food is high, everything is high, but your paycheck remains the same. The struggle continues.
Affordability is not getting any better, and that's because inflation has gone high Interest rates have gone high and everything. Borrowing money as a personal loan for a boat, credit card, house, it's all more expensive. And jobs aren't increasing income to match living costs. Electric, eggs, all these things are more expensive. If you boil it all down and look at rates, you may say, oh, well, rates have been this high before. Back in 2001, they were 8%. Well, the median home today is much different from back then. It was $120,000 then. It is now over $350,000. That's a significant difference. You're talking about an under $100,000 mortgage payment, close to over $300,000 or $3,000 mortgage payment.
Yeah, the prices have gone up 300%.
That's what's,
it's only like 10% in earnings.
The wage difference,
that's not the exact average salary.
It's gone from
very minuscule.
It's gone from mid-30s to high 40s.
Yeah, something like
per
that.
person. Yeah, it's dramatic.
The normal American dream of an average American citizen, which is to save up and own a home, that seems far-fetched because it's difficult to achieve. Even with juggling 2-3 jobs, people are struggling to save up. Like I earlier mentioned, wages are stagnant. The hyperinflation is going off the roof. I don't know who is going to stop it and when this is going to end.
I am so tired of feeling helpless as a parent. Yes, my kids are grown adults. My oldest is 28, my youngest is 25. And I thought by teaching them what I learned, which is you work hard, you get a good job, you're going to get the things in life that you need. Right? Worked for me. Why wouldn't it work for them? Because it doesn't. Because the world has fucking changed. All right. And now I feel like I see them struggling. And before my generation comes at me, yes, I understand struggling is a part of life. We all struggled. But there's a difference between struggling and drowning. All right. So we struggled and it was tough. But you know what? We made it. We knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel with our struggle. It seems like kids today, no matter how much they struggle, they just get further and further down the water into the drowning point. All right. When I was their age, I was making less than $10 an hour, and I can afford to live on my own. Now you have to be making 6-figure salary to get a decent, tiny little place to live. So what the fuck is going on, and how do we help them as parents? I told my son, all you have to do is work hard, go to college, or join the military like I did. He went to college, got his degree, got a full-time job. He moved back in with me right when he graduated from college because he said, hey, Mom, as soon as I get a job, which was within 2 weeks of him getting out of college, maybe take me 2 months and I'll save up enough money for me to move out. Okay, cool. It's been 10 months. He has saved almost every dime and still can't afford to live. Why are one-bedroom studio apartments almost $2,000 a month? Why? Like, I just don't get it. So I don't even think that there's even classes anymore. There used to be upper class, middle class, lower class. It's literally turning into the ultra wealthy and then everybody else is just poor. Like, that's what is happening. And then I told him, hey, when you turn 25, at least your car insurance will go down. Hell no, he turned 25 and his car insurance went up $150. I tell him, if you need health insurance, get a good job. He has health insurance. He has had a medical emergency this week. Had to go to the emergency room twice. He had to go to the emergency room because he couldn't get anybody to see him with the health insurance that he had. Right? So he had to go to an emergency room. Now he's out money for that too. It seems like you can never get ahead. And then my daughter, I told her all you have to do because she wanted to buy her own house. My daughter worked 6 days a week, 12 hours a day to save up enough for this down payment. Finally got this house. She's paying double what I'm paying for my mortgage, but her loan was the same amount. And then her mortgage company, after she's already moved in, said, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you that you need this type of coverage, which we forgot at the beginning. That's an extra $200 you've been paying a month. And all they see when they come home is they watch social media, kids their age, on lavish vacations with all this money and nothing to do, all these social media influencers, because we value those types of things over hard workers. We will pay them $10,000, but you work 40 hours a week, you can't afford it.
Where do we draw the line between living and surviving? Gone are those days when the American dream wasn't just about working day in, day out, but about building a future, living in the moment, having security. I tell you, that seems unattainable in the current economy we are facing. People are no longer having vacation, no more safety net. It's just a constant struggle to keep the light on. With the way things are going, the question is no longer how do we live the dream, but how do we survive when everything seems out of reach. Let's talk about the mental and emotional toll of being in survival.
Being stuck in survival mode can be mentally and emotionally draining, especially if you don't have awareness on when you are shifting into survival mode. So here are a couple of things to keep in mind. One, being in survival mode can just look like you're always in the state of rush or in the state of self-preservation, meaning that you only got enough time and energy for the things that you are focused on or that are in front of you. And that can also get in the way of you planning ahead or trying to plan for the future. So feeling stuck in survival mode, ways to work out of that is to have people around you that remind you of the progress that you are making. Also remind yourself that where you were back then is not where you are now. We have to remind ourselves of these things to let our brain know that yes, we can feel stressed. Yes, we can feel overwhelmed. Yeah, we can feel anxious, but that doesn't mean that we're back in the past. Although our brain is uniquely designed, we still have to remind our brain and our bodies that we are not in the past.
The constant financial stress does have a heavy toll on your mental health and your emotional stability. Living paycheck to paycheck results in a chaotic life, a life that is filled with anxiety and depression. You will constantly be thinking of how you're going to offset a bill. Oh, the deadline is coming. Oh, I have to pay this. You will constantly be living in fear and not have peace of mind because you're in this particular race to meet up all the time. And that's too much stress. Studies have shown that financial instability leads to higher rate of anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues. The unending daily struggle also results in burnout. We are humans, not robots. So how do we solve this problem? How do we get out of this survival mode? Is there hope? Can the American dream be redefined? Can something be done about it? Here is the thing, it's not all doom and gloom. Even with the current economic crisis, some people are living their best life, not because they have all the money, but because they have the best strategy. Financial literacy is the key. You have to educate yourself about money. You have to understand how money works. You have to learn how to invest. You have to spend less and save more. Saving is the power. Saving is the guarantee of a better tomorrow, not spending. Saving and investing is very important if you want to grow financially.
Here are 3 things to uplevel your finances in 2024. Number 3 is probably the most important, but the hardest one to do. Number 1 is you're going to stop the Delulu spending and we're going to start living within our means. It is okay if you don't go on that vacation. It is okay if you don't have the latest handbag. It is okay if you don't buy that latest skincare product. Take a look at how much money you bring home every single month and how much you owe every single month. Good baseline for you to start is 50% towards essentials, 30% towards lifestyle, and 20% towards saving and debt. Number 2 is you're going to pay your future self first. That means investing in your retirement, saving up for an emergency fund, or paying off debt. I know sometimes that you can look at your financial situation and be like, that's not fair. I worked so hard. Why can't I see the money? You need to reframe the situation. It's not that you're not seeing the money. You're paying your future self, and your future self will thank you for laying the foundation now. Number 3, and I really believe this is the most important step, is that you need to rewire your brain and stop comparing yourself to other people. If you look around other people and are wondering, how the heck are they affording that lifestyle? I should be able to afford that lifestyle too. Well, 50% of credit card holders are in debt right now, and so that's how they're affording their lifestyle. You need to rewire your brain and to stop normalizing living beyond your means. I promise you we can all rewire your brain and uplevel finances in 2024. I'm here to help you. Follow me for more videos on financial freedom and living your best life.
You are actually doing way better than you think. I've got the stats to prove it, but I'm also going to tell you why those stats actually don't even matter. As much as 1/3 of adults in the UK have less than £1,000 in savings or no savings at all. And the average non-mortgage household debt is about £15,000. But here's what's more important than where you are in relation to those stats and actually where you are right now. What's way more important than any of that is the trajectory and the journey that you're on in your finances. You've already proven by saving £1,000 that you're somebody who can save. You're somebody who can put a bit of money away and not spend everything that they earn. That's kind of the first step to a really, really good trajectory in your financial life. So you start saving a little bit, then you save a bit more. Show yourself that you can do it. Then you get to a 3 to 6 month fund. So you've got an emergency fund now. And you're also starting to save for regular events that always happen, like Christmas. And now once you've done that, you've got a really good foundation laid in your finances. So you can move on to things where you can grow your money, maybe things like investing, starting a little business, all these other cool things, saving for a property. That's the trajectory, and that's way more important. But one thing that can massively kill that progress and slow down that trajectory is comparison. Looking around you thinking like, everyone else is ahead of me. What is even the point? But when we do that and we start to fall into that trap of looking at other people and how they're getting on, even in most areas of our lives, but including our finances, it can really just derail you. And it's so important just to know, hang on, here's the step for me. Here's my next step. Here's where I'm heading, and stay on that path and you will do very, very well. So my encouragement to you is you are doing better than you think. The stats back it up, but more importantly, the trajectory you're on, if you keep going, is a really...
It's all about reclaiming control and finding a balance in a system that obviously seems broken. The question again, are people living or just surviving? Are you living or just surviving? A good number of people are just surviving, and it just doesn't have to stay that way forever. Finding joy, creating security, and reclaiming your life is possible even in tough times. It all boils down to the strategy you have in play. Click this video to watch people talk about realizing the reality of life about money. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.